Well, sorry this episode's going up a bit late today, this chapter review, but I was working all day very hard on this Hawkeye sketch, brothers and sisters, so let me know what you think and hope you enjoy it. One Piece, Chapter 50, A Parting of Ways. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as expected, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the tantalizing tale of One Piece. Things are really starting to heat up for us now, as the end of last chapter marked the first, I guess the first appearance, actually, other than just the legend that we've heard about of Hawkeye. We did see him, and actually I made a mistake as well. He actually cut Don Krieg's ship in half, and that was something that I wasn't quite sure. I knew he was coming, and it seemed like there were storms and waves and everything coming. But anyway, apparently he cut his ship in half. But so that's where the chapter ended off, where basically everybody was like, "Oh shit, here he is, here he's coming." So he's coming to finish the job he started with Don Krieg's armada. And if you remember, Don Krieg had 50 ships and 5,000 men. He was left with nothing but his flagship, tattered and beaten and broken, and about 100 men. So it looks like Hawkeye has come to finish the job. The chapter starts out though with with kind of a big sort of explosion, and everybody on the Barati going, "What the hell was that? Maybe the ammunition exploded. Maybe this." And they're looking over because Don Krieg's ship is just a complete wreck. It's like I said, it's been cut in half, and definitely not good news with that. We then have Yosaku and Johnny, and if you remember, also towards the end of last chapter, they basically had told Luffy and company that Nami had taken the treasure and left and said goodbye, hope to see you again soon, and took the ship. So they go through a few-page flashback of how they were duped, and Nami, I guess, apparently she's been looking over the bounty posters, the bounty pages, and they're just kind of all talking amongst themselves. And then Yosaku and Johnny are like, "What the hell? That's our treasure. We weren't planning on staying on this ship because they have their own boat." And and Nami's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm just putting it on the boat here." And she's like, I'm gonna change. Do you think you guys could just turn around for a minute?" So anyway, they go and, "Oh, sure, Sister Nami's gonna change, but they think she's hot and they want to kind of get a sneak peek or whatever, which I'm sure she counts on. And as they kind of turn to peek over their shoulder at her, changing, she winds up just knocking them overboard into the water. And then of course as she's going away, she's like, "Listen," and they're like, "Why are you doing this?" And she goes, "Listen, I never swore an allegiance to Luffy. Or Zoro. I just recently met them. I'm a thief. I steal treasure. I rob pirates, idiots. And she says, and like I said, she says that I didn't swear any allegiance to him. It was just a temporary partnership. So tell him I hope to see him again, and and I'm gonna be on my way now." So she takes off with the ship, the Merry-Go, as well as the treasure that they've collected now from Kuro, from the Black Cat pirates. The treasure that she stole from Buggy, as well as the treasure that Yosaku and Johnny had. So she's rolling pretty deep, but she takes off though, and Zoro's just kind of like, "I can't believe that you two idiots, you guys are supposed to be the guardians of the ship, and they say, 'Yes, that was our job, brother. We were supposed to guard the ship.'" So it comes out of the flashback. And then Luffy goes and he's kind of like peering off in the distance, and he's like, "I can still see the ship, I can still see it." So they're trying to think fast, and "Yosaku, Johnny, where's your guy's ship?" And he's, "Oh, it's anchored, not far from here, right?" So they're going to get that prepared, and Luffy is trying to go and he's trying to tell Usopp and Zoro, "I need you to go after her, right? And take Yosaku and Johnny's ship, go after her." Because they're all like, "That traitorous bitch," and Luffy's like, "No, she's going to be our navigator, okay? So I need you to go get her." So, ever the trusting one. So they're getting everything prepared. The ship's ready to go, and like I said, Usopp and Zoro are getting ready to leave or whatever, and they're asking Luffy, "Aren't you going to come with?" And Luffy says, "No, the Barati still is in trouble. It needs me. Obviously there's Don Krieg and his men, and then of course now the appearance of Hawkeye. So Luffy's like, 'Don't worry, I'll take care of this,' type of deal." We are then in the next page. We are introduced to, and we see for the first time Hawkeye. And I'm actually, as we speak over here, I'm working on a sketch of him because he's a cool looking character. He looks to me kind of like a cartoonish version of like one of the Three Musketeers. You know, he's got kind of the wide brimmed hat, and he's got the little thin mustache going and everything, and just this giant freaking sword. You know, that reminds me of the character Nightmare from the video game Soul Calibur. If anybody's ever played it, if you haven't, look it up. But this guy's got this giant sword that's the size of his body. So we're then introduced to Hawkeye. And it says that he's the greatest swordsman. You know, he's the greatest swordsman in the world. So now we're thinking, oh shit, that's why Zoro was looking for him, right? Zoro wants to be the greatest swordsman in the world, and to be the best, you have to beat the best, right? So Hawkeye's just kind of sitting casually on his ship as he comes up, and he had just obviously cut his Don Krieg's flagship, his galleon, in half, and everybody's like, and the sailors that are still on the ship, his pirates, are still like, oh my god, it's Hawkeye, and how did he do that? And then one of the guys, goes and sees him. He's like, what the hell? Why are you still following us? Why are you tormenting us? You already killed most of us. And Hawkeye goes, for fun. And this guy starts pulling out his pistols, and he's shooting at him. The next panel, shows Hawkeye, and he's pulled out this giant freaking sword, all smooth and casual like, and he's holding it out to the side, and he has deflected with the sword ever so casually all the shots, so nothing actually hit him. And they're like, what the hell? He's deflecting all the shots, and he's so smooth, and he's so this, he's so that. And it's just really kind of cool. You can see that this is going to be just a real badass, character, just from the way he operates, and just, again, how smooth he is with his personality. And this is just only, I'm sure, a taste, and from my view, being somebody who's new to the series and the character. And even Zeff it looks to be impressed. He says, "Oh man, that's he's the greatest. His weapon is the sword. He's the greatest swordsman that ever lived." And so then, like I said, that grabs Zoro's attention, and of course Nami's getting further away, and Luffy makes mention of that. He's like, "What the hell? I need you to go take care of this." But Zoro is just transfixed, and just has laser-like vision for Hawkeye. So as he starts kind of coming towards him, then some of the crew members, and he's starting to pull out his swords, and get ready for battle. Some of Don Krieg's men, as well as Don Krieg himself, are like, they start whispering amongst themselves, and they're like, 3 swords, could it be? Is it the legendary? And then somebody says, and I think it might even be Don Krieg that says, it's Zoro, the legendary bounty hunter, right? So then Hawkeye goes and he kind of catches a glimpse of Zoro, or sees him. And then he also makes mention too, because somebody says about how he just subtly pulled the sword out and deflected the bullets a couple panels earlier, and he says I kind of like this. He says, without subtlety, a sword is nothing but an iron bar. So his whole thing is like the finesse, and he makes that known as well immediately to Zoro, and he's like, any real swordsman doesn't need to have 3 swords, and Zoro's like, don't underestimate me, and it kind of goes, and it's kind of it's a pissing contest. It starts to be a whose dick is bigger contest, and that's really how it I think is going to go down, because Zoro obviously believes in what he does, and Hawkeye is obviously very confident, or Hawkeye is very confident in what he does, and knows that he's the best, and he certainly has that attitude of my shit doesn't stink. So he goes and and makes mention, of course, of and kind of puts down Zoro's style and how he does and how he does things, and then Zoro, of course, comes back, and he's more or less just like, yeah, I got to take you down because I got to be the greatest in the world. Not for me. I made a promise to someone, and like I said, that everything's just waiting to explode between these two. So I really can't wait to see the next chapter with that. Shortly after this, though, the chapter does end, and it takes us to Nami, and Nami is, of course, she's now a little bit away, and she's actually tearing up. She's crying. She's like, I'm really going to miss those guys. I hope I see you again. So you can tell that, if you remember earlier too, 30, 40 chapters ago, she needed like 100 million berries to buy some village or whatever. So that's, I'm sure, gonna coming into play over here, and that's where some of her reasoning and ambitions are behind robbing them blind. She needs this money for something, or to maybe save or help someone, or a number of people that are maybe very close to her. So as the chapter ends up, and she's kind of tearing, she says, I'm coming, and then she says, the way it looks like it's pronounced is Belmer. And so obviously if it's Belle Marie, let me know. But the way it is pronounced and the way they put the accentuations on it, it's Belmer. But you guys also have to remember too that I have the official, whatever you want to call these. I don't know if they're official, but I have the actual volumes. I don't read them online. And not that I have anything against that, but sometimes I have found here that some things get mixed up or lost in translation. I mean, and obviously everyone here has helped to guide me in the right way, which I truly appreciate. But just so you know, it's never intentional when I do misspeak or I say something. I do take the time to try to pronounce it. I try not to look up too much on it because I'm trying to not be spoiled as far as what's going to happen in the future. So I really do rely on the comments that you folks put down below and try to learn from it and fix it. You know, for instance, with the red shoes, red leg, that was just a translation issue that I had no idea about. So thank you again for your participation and your help, and really for just coming on this journey and us taking it together. So this will mark chapter 50, a drop in the bucket compared to what we have to come ahead, but certainly 50 seems like a good big number for just a few weeks doing this, and appreciate all the support. Remember to hit the like button if you think that I've earned it, and certainly subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will be looking
as always,
for
thank you for watching, brothers and sisters. Be sure to subscribe and take a look at some of my other videos. Thanks.
To see what
See you
happens
next time,
between
Nation.
Zoro and Hawkeye. So, take it easy, Nation.